It was like
He always sends
2:54.
it.
It was like 2:50. Hey, 4 minutes is a lot of time. I'm surprised it took you 8 minutes to click on the link. If I sent it at 2:56, it took you 8 minutes to click on that link.
I mean, I had to do a few things on my new computer that I've never used with StreamYard, and it was not allowing permission, and that's why I wanted it before 2:56. But nevertheless, shut up.
What your background's different? Did you like turn in a circle and face a different direction? What'd you do?
I have 2 desks down here, and I flipped them.
Oh,
this gives me more room to maneuver because I'm more towards the middle of the room now.
Yeah,
go flipski.
Now you got it's a more dynamic background. You got the different levels of the ceiling back there. It's super dynamic.
Well, great. I'm so happy that it
just like you.
Oh my Dan, this man woke up on the right side of the bed today. I like it. Dan, I got that board hung last night.
You hung a board all by yourself?
No. My father-in-law drove me his truck because he's a man's man. Then we went and bought the board, and then we brought it home. He's a man's man because
he has a truck?
Yeah, and then my neighbor helped me cut the board because he had a saw and I didn't, and he's a man's man. And then they held it up while I nailed it in. So I did that part by myself with them holding it up. But I did use a hammer, so that was exciting.
You're a man. Hey, I should probably, since this is a radio show, I should probably get us live on the radio. What's up, all you Facebook and YouTube folks? We're about to go live on the radio. Let me cue up the tunes. Everybody get ready for some tunes. I'm going to do this. Oh, I got it. But then I had to adjust my volume, Angela, because you were really loud. Not your fault. It's not your fault. It's my fault. All right, here we go. Let's make sure this radio button still works. The butt. I haven't talked about the butt in a while. You guys know that the radio. Angela, do you have that on your computer? Are you an Apple or a PC?
I'm an Apple.
Oh yeah, the piece. Those of us on the radio that use the PC, we have our app to go on the radio is called Butt. BUTT. Whoever came up with this thing has definitely my sense of humor. So we're going to go live on the butt right now. Here we go. Now we're live. Now it's official. Happy Wednesday afternoon, everybody. It's time for a little bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Let me turn that down so you can hear what the hell I'm saying. Welcome to Bookkeeping, Beer, and BS. I'm Dan Plata, Home Service CFO. We're joined by Cory Hillary with a whole new job and Angela Schroeder with a whole new podcast. I hope if Dave jumps on, he better have something freaking new or we're going to kick his ass out of here. I started something new too. I started a brand new business called, I named it after my grandpa because I realized I have some things in the works, I'll just say, but I also have like revenue that comes from coaching and I have like other business expenses not tied to blue skies. And I was like, why do I not have like an entity for Dan to do businessy things with? So I started an LLC named after my grandpa who like, I knew him as Vilas and or Jesus Christ. That was his nickname because he was like anything. He'd be like, Jesus Christ. That was his like tagline. But my grandma passed away last Monday over like the week of the 4th. And I was really close with Grandma Pat and Grandpa Vilas. So Grandma passed away. She was 90. We don't need to be sad. Grandma Pat absolutely crushed it. Grandma Pat died right before she turned 91. And Cory, you probably met Grandma Pat.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm going to be a little sad for like 30 seconds because I met Grandma Pat and she was cooler than you are. And that's hard to do, but she was. And
she also drank more than I do.
Right. Grandma Pat was a little crazy, but Grandma Pat, you're right. 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna let it go because she did good. She did real good.
She God bless her. If we could all do what Grandma Pat did, we'd all vote for this immediately. If this is how we do the thing being dying that I'm talking about, if we all could do this, we'd be like, yep, I want that. So Grandma, she's 90, lived by herself. She was in and out of some like care facilities, usually when she fell off a bar stool. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Like that happened a couple times. Her social life, like that was what she did. Her and my grandpa, he passed away maybe a decade ago. But like every night of the week, they had the bar that they went to. Like Monday night was this thing. And then the Tuesday night was this thing. And that was like their entire social life. You know, North Central Wisconsin, duh, is what you do. And so like she kept that up because that was like her social life, right? That was where her people were at. And so every night of the, there was a casino day somewhere in there, I think maybe on Mondays. And she just lived it up. She was also like the lady that baked bread for everybody. She would make these little like mini loaves of pistachio bread and lemon bread. It was always like a sweet bread sort of thing. It wasn't like a loaf of bread. It was like a dessert bread type of thing. And so like her purpose in life was to go to these bars and like deliver bread to the bartender she liked and the people she, blah, blah, blah. And so on Monday, and obviously we don't know, nobody else was there because she lived alone. But she was like baking bread. And we know that because there was a bunch of bread like in Ziploc bags out on the cupboard, and all the pans were still in the sink and hadn't been cleaned yet or anything like that. But she basically like went to the grocery store. She had her purse on her when they found her, but they determined she had like cardiac arrest, and she died before she hit the floor. She was literally living her life, doing her thing, died before she hit the floor. I was like, sign me up. Is there a way I can like, can you opt for that? Because I want that. Like she crushed.
I mean, so yeah, like you don't want to maybe like opt for it because
not right now. I just like when I'm 90.
Right. I mean, that's pretty intentional, but I hear you. There's something cool about it. I'll tell you what, if that can happen at the age of 90, almost 91, I mean, you're right, Dan. Like you're 100% right. Like that's it. I mean, like great life. Okay, on to bigger and better things. Let's go. Right.
Awesome grandchildren. Great.
Yeah, awesome grandchildren.
Awesome. Right. I would say great grandchildren, which she had a bunch of those too. So that'd be confusing because that'd be talking about my kids. So I like great is in like I'm awesome grandchildren. But I don't have a beer on me. Well, I should if I'm talking about Grandma Pat. But here's one for Grandma Pat. Cheers, Grandma Pat. Well, it was really cool. I had Michael Gregory on last week on the late night show talking about service Rolodex. And I told this story, but I'm going to tell it again to the audience's dismay because they're going to have to listen to it twice if they're listening to the podcast. But Angela and Cory, for you guys. So Grandma Pat loved to gamble. Like not she wasn't like a degenerate gambler, like gambling away everything. We would joke that all of our inheritance would be gone. And she wasn't wealthy, but we always like joke like, Grandma, you're spending all of our inheritance. Because she would always do rip tickets at the bar. Cory, I'm sure you know what rip tickets are. Angela, are you familiar with a rip ticket?
Yeah.
Okay, so any of you listeners out there who don't know what a rip ticket is, it's like if scratch-off tickets and slot machines had a baby, rip tickets. That's the best way I can put it. It's like a slot machine on paper. You rip it open. There's lines. There's usually fruit or shapes.
Pickle cards.
Pickle cards.
Well, they call them bar tabs.
Bar tabs. Bar tab that I have is usually the thing I need to pay when I'm leaving.
Bar tabs or pull tabs. Pull
tabs
is very common.
Pull tabs is super common.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to see who this is. Somebody chimed in. Those are the devil, but I ran 300 in Minneapolis last year. They said ran. They meant won, but I won 300. So what happened is, so we found out Grandma died on Monday of last week. We found out Tuesday, and it was actually. Not that there's any good timing, but Marty and I and the kids were up at my parents' like lake house cabin. I'll call it lake house because they pretty much spend most of their time there. Because why wouldn't you if you have a place on a lake? So we were up there. We found out up there. The next day we were already like planning on going to eat dinner at the bar on the lake, the old Alpine, and they have a machine in there where you can $1 you get a ticket. So I put in $30, and 6 of us opened like 5 tickets each, and so. We, $30, we won like 12, right? And I think the math of those pull tabs / rip tickets is probably 50-50. If you put in $100, you'll win 50 back. And so, but it's like you're putting in $30, you're going to play until it's gone, right? Somebody else is chiming in here, says, yeah, pull tabs. Maybe pull tabs is what you call them in Minnesota. Rip tickets is what you call them if you're 90 and you live in Wisconsin.
Right.
But so I put 30 in, got 12 out. Put the 12 back in, right? Because you keep pumping it until you're out of money or you win something big. So we put the 12 back in. One of my kids pulled like a 25. And so I think we had like $31 from that batch. Put that back in, ended up with $16. And we put that $16 in. Like the first ticket that got ripped was a $250. It was like the $250 in the batch. So Grandma Pat was looking out, and we were all just like laughing. We're just like, no fucking way that just happened. But of course it did, because Grandma Pat was watching out. She let us play a few rounds because that's like the entertainment value, right? It's like you get to keep feeding it, so you get the excitement and like, hey, maybe. So we got like 4 rounds in and we won $250 and cheers, Grandpa.
So who pulled the 250 winner?
I think I'd go to jail if I said. No, I don't remember who pulled it, but probably one.
I'm just wondering how much money your kids kept of that, even though the $30 investment was yours, because I know how that works, and
I think
weird.
I kept it all. I just paid for the entire bar tab, so I didn't but it was like, so therefore normally I'd say so I didn't keep much, but at the Alpine, like I still had a lot of money left. So
hey, I got a good one for you. We all played pull tabs one time. We put $20 in. There was 5 of us. You know all 5 of the guys, Gary. We were at a bar, and we said if anybody wins, they're going to pay for the bar tab. Same exact thing. It's what you do, right? When you win, you pay for the bar tab.
Mm-hmm.
So we all put money in, but we opened our own.
Rob's watching. He said, right. So the bar kept it.
Right. So we all, and that's where my story's going. We all put our own money in, but you open your own tabs with your own money you put in. But then if you win, you do it, whatever. But everyone puts the same amount in. Okay. So we open our tabs up. I win 500. We were doing $2 tabs. I win 500. There was 5 of us there. 4 hours later, my bar tab was $747. And I was like, okay, never, ever doing this again. It was crazy. People were ordering like 40-year-old scotch, and like they just thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world to just stick me with this massive bar tab. And I was like, all right, cool, guys. I'll remember that. I'll remember it.
Yeah. Might as well hit a hole in one.
Might as well.
Well, let's talk about new shit you guys got going on. So I got my new LLC named Valedian. My grandpa was Vilas, but I think his like real name on his birth certificate was Valedian. And so in honor of like, it would have felt weird to call my business Grandma Pat LLC. That just has a weird ring to it. So I went with Valedian LLC. So I have a new business called Valedian LLC, and it's like it doesn't even really exist yet, and it doesn't do anything besides like have a place for me to expense my beer when I buy beer for stuff. So seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. What's up, Dave?
I like that from you. I have a new LLC as a place to expense my beer.
I mean, I do beer as a business thing, right? So I'm pretty sure you can expense that, right?
Cory, what's going on, man? It's good to see you.
What's going on, Dave? Come in.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, but I'm confused. Is Dan not going to give you shit for hopping on 16 minutes late? Because I got a bunch of shit for hopping on 4 minutes late. I'm just wondering what's going on here.
I was talking to my ER.
Oh, he froze up just like that.
Yeah, he did.
Talking to his ear.
Hey, that's the first time I've ever seen someone freeze, though, where they're actually like frozen pretty good.
Yeah, he had a good look. Very presidential look on his face when he froze up there.
Am I back on?
You're back on with a cool leg, but you look like you're up in Flagstaff. You look like you're up in the mountains.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh, Angela was here last 3 days, right?
I just left him this morning.
You were in that space. You were right there.
I was right there last night. I stayed at his neighbor. JC and I stayed at.
Yeah, I got a neighbor down the road who let Angela and JC stay in his house. Man, it's a beautiful house. I was like, I did this wrong because I should have stayed there. And Angela, JC should have stayed at my 2-bedroom.
You would love this. There's an elk, right? It's an elk.
A moose.
Moose. I was like, wait a second. It wasn't an elk. The story of this moose was killed on a hunt with Teddy Roosevelt. And then it was at Harvard or Yale. One of those things.
Yeah, Yale.
Okay.
One of those fancy ass schools.
It is above the fireplace.
That's badass. I would have liked that.
Yeah, I know there's a glare, but
there it is.
Yeah.
That is a moose. You can tell by the way it's a moose.
And this little plaque right there has the story on it. Like it was shot by Teddy Roosevelt with this guy. This guy's last name is Shooter.
So Shooter McGavin. He was in Happy Gilmore, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. His last name's Shooter, and like his ancestors were hunting with Teddy Roosevelt and shot that. And it was at Yale University, and like the story, and now it's hanging up in his house. And yeah, it's pretty sweet, right, Angela? It was really cool.
Some poser just checked in, says, woo, woo, it was incredible. This is JC. And it just
Jesus
says
Christ.
Facebook user. But then I even looked at it, and it's not JC, it's Jared. So I don't know who that is.
Oh, I think it's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ isn't a poser.
Rob checked in, says, Dan has the highest amount of documented beer consumption. Documented, maybe. Now there's probably like some competitive drinking stuff that would have me beat. What is this, Rob? My middle name is. What is that? Somebody pronounce that.
Goldthwait.
Is that a
Goldthwait?
Rob? Give us the phonetics. Can you type that out? How you'd say it? Give us the phonetic spelling of Goldthwait. Pretty sure it ends in an E like that. Just one of those obnoxious. Yeah, Goldthwait. Dave, we all have new stuff going on. I started a new LLC. Angela's got a brand new podcast. Cory's got a new insurance gig. What the hell are you doing here?
For all that is good, please tell me you stopped opening or buying businesses for a little bit. You can just say nothing. You can just say nothing for a minute. It's okay.
No, there's something new.
Oh my goodness! Of course there is.
We were just there for something new.
That's right.
Let's hear it.
Yes.
What do you got?
So JC came in and trained my entire crew on Christmas lighting. We're going to do holiday lighting in Flagstaff. So
hell yeah.
Do you want to do that in your business? You know what? Spending 2 days with JC, like this guy, he went from beginning to end on everything. Like I feel completely confident. I saw my crew, my guys. They went and wrapped a house and put lights up, and man, it looks fantastic. So I thought it was going to be all this work and kind of difficult and hard, but it's really not that difficult when you have JC come in and explain to you how to do it. So there you go. We're doing Christmas lighting.
Hold on, everybody. We got a special guest. Jumping in. What's up? What's up, Rob's hot wife?
Rob's hot wife.
Love it. That's good. Whose idea was this?
Today. Got on it. So I could wait for you.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Kind of, but it's very choppy. Did Rob screw up the setup? Is Rob screwing this up? It's choppy audio. I don't know why. He just set you up and ran away. Set you up with bad audio and ran away. Some IT guy he is. Didn't he used to work for a phone company forever? He should be all over that. He should have it nailed. All right, I'm gonna mute you because it's like clicking. Tell Rob to fix the microphone for you. Tell him to figure out technology because I don't know how to work any of it. So Dave, you're loving holiday lights. You ready to go? You're putting the Santa hat on. You're in the Christmas spirit.
Yep, it's like day one. JC even has Christmas shoes. You always see his blazer, but dude had Christmas shoes on too. Like he's something else.
He goes all out. I saw. I think it was on Facebook. Maybe it was on the gram. Angela's sporting some fancy ass Christmas coat thing now.
Oh, I didn't see that. Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it looked like it was the right size and all.
Yeah, he surprised me with a Christmas blazer. So.
Dan, you would have liked it.
This time when I flew with him in his Christmas jacket, I also wore a red dress with Christmas jewelry.
Yeah, but didn't you show up in Arizona? It was like 112 degrees.
Yes.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
It's 75 here, and I'm like, oh, finally it's like comfortable. It's been in the 80s, and that's too hot. Yeah. So, Dave, what on this holiday light stuff, what's next? What do you got to do? What does it require of you?
So we're going to well, obviously we set up a website. We already got that set up, but I have such a big customer.
Who are you going to use for marketing? Who are you going to use for website marketing?
A company called Collaborate Pros.
Oh, interesting. I've heard of them. Yeah, I've used them before.
Yeah, I guarantee you they can get us some traffic before Christmas time. So
I would think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of it. But between our two companies, we have a customer list that spans the whole city. I think we could literally just start texting people out and getting them excited about it. And I told JC I'm a little scared if I start, doing all this marketing and start going after our current customers. A little scared of what the results are going to be. He's all excited. He got this big old smile. He's like, "Oh, I can't wait to see." And I'm like, "I'm a little scared, but we'll see. It'll be fun."
The best people to sell stuff to are the people that already like buying stuff from you.
exactly that. And, they're the people who have disposable income. They're already paying for services at their house. So, we'll go after them for sure.
Is anybody already like going gung ho on it in your market, or is it pretty untapped for you?
There's nobody here.
Oh shit. I love it.
Honey, we're moving to Phoenix.
Yeah, no, Flagstaff. You're on Flagstaff. You're on.
Everyone's like,
yeah. Let me
do this.
I'm
not in Flagstaff right now. I'm in Phoenix. You're right, Cory. I'm in Phoenix.
Yeah.
There you go.
Phoenix it is. Well, let's do this. Let's. I got some ad blocks to play. Because this is a radio show. So let's play a couple commercials, and we'll be right back with a little more bookkeeping, beer, and BS on Turfs Up Radio.
Don't hear any sound.
You don't hear any sound?
Nope.
No sound? The hell's going on here? Sometimes I wonder about the electronics.
The listeners can't either.
Yeah.
JC says no commercial.
Well, yeah, if you guys can't, then they can't either. But I don't know why that would be the case.
Oh, maybe the radio people can.
I don't think so, because they only hear what you guys hear. Can you hear my background music?
Nope, nothing.
Did you see me dancing?
No, that should have been a sign earlier. You should have told me earlier when I was like, "Let me get the music going." You're like, "Damn, there's no music." That would have been a dead giveaway.
So I thought you just were
Unreal.
taking longer than normal. So my bad.
No. Well, Jairus, throw a commercial in that dead space of sound there. When we run the podcast, we'll throw some commercials in.
I thought I had bad internet. I was like,
no,
okay,
something is goofy with this setup because, like, Angela, most of the time Angela, I'm pointing at you because you're like on every single week. You're old, reliable. These two clowns hardly ever jump on anymore. But most of the time you're dancing. You can hear the music, and it's set up the exact same way. I have no idea why.
And now that you say that, I have not danced yet, so there must not have been intro dance music.
I mean, I played it.
Oh.
I don't know why. And I'm assuming everybody that's listening can hear you guys. Everybody that's watching live can hear you guys because they're chatting.
The news is, if the next commercial break, I can play a commercial break for you if you want.
You want to do that? Yeah, you want to get the microphone out and throw it on.
Commercial break, I have my commercials queued up.
Dan is like he's never practiced this before. Now all of a sudden, Angela's expert. This is fantastic.
Hey, I have had to bail Angela out once before on the commercial break. This is mutual. We help each other out.
Dan was a guest on my show. He had to play the commercials.
I remember that.
It helps.
I love it.
I got a update from Rob on the middle name, Golthwaite. Golf. It's hard to say golf. Like it's golf, but with a th. It's like you're swallowing the letters is what I'm going with. Like when you say a Louisville, when people pronounce Louisville like Louisville instead of Louisville, because it's definitely Louisville, but they always say Louisville. All right. Rob's hot wife is back in the stream, but I don't see her. Where is she? She's hiding behind the scenes. Maybe they're coming back. Let's see here. What else did I miss? Still thrown off by my commercial break not working. I was playing sweet music. Jared Chanowski says, if you're not marketing for Christmas lights now, you're wrong. Dave is going to crush it. Oh, Angela's getting the music ready. Look at her. She's doing things. She's doing podcasts and things. Angela.
Angela.
Yeah. Angela, can you tell us a little bit about this, the old In the Foxhole podcast that I keep seeing and hearing about all over the place?
Starting pretty soon, right?
Yes. So JC and I are launching a podcast together called In the Foxhole. It launches
When you
tomorrow.
say JC, are you talking about Jared?
It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Kurt Kempton was just on my show earlier today and he kept saying Jared. And he's like, it's Jared now, right? Not JC. And I was like,
it's officially
his name. It's for the check mark.
But I thought we had to call him Jared now.
Oh, Kurt actually thought anyway. In the Foxhole, exciting. It's starting tomorrow. And it is all about not just the highlight reel of entrepreneurship, but the moments in the foxhole, in the trenches, the struggles, transparency, vulnerability, and who's in the foxhole with you at those times. So we have a great lineup of first guests that were just really exciting. So we're excited to launch those first episodes and share them with the audience.
Sweet. Is it a once a week type of podcast? Is it a wide open, like could go 3 hours type of podcast, or what are people in store for? What kind of
so it is not a live show. We didn't do live show format like this one and like mine. They are pre-recorded ones, but one will launch each week. So we'll have a new episode each week, and some surprising guests with just great stories. And we're excited. They are about 45 minutes to an hour. So we try to keep the same format of like engaging length and real stories of vulnerability. A lot of times we just hear the success stories, maybe a few of the struggles, but we really tried to take a deep dive, take the curtains off of what those struggles were and what they felt like.
Hell yeah. Those are usually the best lessons learned and the ones that reciprocate the most, because everybody's been there, but people just don't talk about them because it's not revenue and it's not sexy. So I dig it. How many episodes you guys already lay down? I know you haven't.
We've had a lot of fun doing it. We recorded the first 3 in Omaha at a studio there, and then I think just 2 more in North Carolina when I was with him. So we have 5 and some more in store to record. So it's been a lot of fun. The journey's been a lot of fun. We have a great tribe of supporters that have had fun watching, and join the Facebook group. You'll get some funny behind the scenes clips.
I can imagine. What do you identify as a podcaster now?
Do I? I suppose. Now this is my
you got so many damn shows now. You're a friggin' celebrity.
Well, all of them. They're all different, right? Like I tell you say I'm old faithful and I'm always here. But your show was like the beginning to a whole different trajectory in my life. And I love the energy of everyone on the show. Like I will never miss. It's like one of the highlights of my week, this whole group dynamic.
Woohoo.
And
don't worry, Dan. I tell her all the time, don't forget the little guy, Dan and Dave.
Yeah.
And she's like,
right.
Who? Yeah. Who you I'm like, me and Dan. She's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sure.
You guys that first met me. And then I love my show as well, like just a one-on-one conversation with somebody. I mean, there's funny and laughing. And I really love the dynamic of JC and I doing it together. As a little kid, like my dream, I loved watching Jane Pauley, Brian Gumbel, and then Katie Couric on the Today Show, like a duo interviewing people. And that was always something I wanted to do. I just love that dynamic of it. So it's been lots of fun, but it's also like living out this childhood dream.
Yeah, how is the dynamic different? Because I've had a co-host on my late night show off and on, like every once in a while. Rob, when I first started, Bobby Walker like co-hosted for me for over a year. Like he was on damn near every episode, and then Rob jumped in. He's done a bunch of them. Now I kind of run them solo, but I miss having a co-host for a lot of reasons. How has that dynamic changed? And obviously, like you and JC are pretty close. So like how is that dynamic? Are you mutual hosts? Is one of you the co-host? Is one the lead and one the co-host? And how do you decide do you guys have questions decided ahead of time?
What Dan is asking is who gets to wear the pants on your new podcast. That's what he's asking. That's the only question he has.
Is that what I'm asking? I don't know what I'm asking. That's why I put all questions in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Jason.
I think we do a great job of co-hosting it together so far. Like the dynamics that, were like my idols to dynamic it after. I think we have a good energy of it back and forth. It was important to me, and I didn't know how that would work, but is why we're not doing live shows and pre-recording. One of the reasons is I wanted us to be in the same physical space when we were doing it. So it'd be different if you were co-hosting a show like this and say, Dan, you and I were co-hosting and, Dave and Cory were the guests or were one of the guests. That it's different when you're in different rooms, just like the guest is in a different room. So I wanted to make sure that we did it when we were physically in the same space and that we, then our guest was on Zoom. She's definitely the boss.
JC.
We know, JC. It was a joke question. We're well aware. We know that. All of us are married. We know.
Although, well, I probably shouldn't.
Go ahead.
When we were in Vegas, you told everybody I like to be told what to do. So, right? Remember that?
I could see that going a little sideways.
We're at the roulette table. We had the whole table. And Angela had.
We were playing blackjack, and I didn't want a tip. I didn't want a suggestion. I was like, just tell me, hit or not.
So,
that was.
So Angela's like, I just want to be told what to do. And her friend Caitlin's like, I just like to watch. And we're like, wow, who are these ladies? Anyway, I'm just kind of putting that out there. It was hilarious.
That was the context. I was like, stop giving me a 15-minute explanation. Just.
I like Angela's comment. I think I like Caitlin's rebuttal better. Like on the spot, I just like to watch. That's pretty wicked little retort there.
And she was.
You're talking about blackjack, guys. Just blackjack.
She was meaning in the terms of blackjack. She did not want to play. She just.
We know what
we're talking about. Oh, we're still talking about playing cards.
Yeah,
okay.
We know what she was meaning, Angela. We're just taking it to a different direction because it's what we do. It's fine.
David's like that. Anyway, back to the podcast. Yes, I think we do a great job of the co-hosting. In the beginning, we tried to create an outline of who would begin and introduce, but stay tuned for the first episode because we didn't get the introduction right.
Some free entertainment.
Co-hosts are supposed to introduce themselves, right? You should say, hi, this is your host, Angela. And then JC should say,
and I'm JC.
And I don't know which one of us said.
This is JC, anyway. And this one's Angela. Yeah, you can do it either way. You can introduce yourselves or introduce each other.
So it got better as it went on, but yeah, I'm enjoying the co-host.
I think it'd be more fun to inappropriately introduce each other incorrectly. That'd be good.
Maybe we'll try that next time.
Yeah.
Angela, in the world of sales, having someone else introduce you builds credibility. Maybe having that happen in the first show was a cool way to be able to, show that you guys know each other and you're working together. I mean, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. I mean, we will in the Facebook group share some outtakes and, like I said, behind the scenes. Our first guest, because we're trying to figure out what we're doing right before we record the first one. So the guest is seeing us be like, "Are you going first? Am I going first? Who's saying what?" And them just being like, "I am really enjoying this behind the scenes dynamic watching you two." Try to figure this out.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to check it out. I'm the only concern I have because I haven't met JC, but I've seen a bunch of his stuff and I've heard stories, and obviously I know you, Angela, and I just have one concern. It's whether or not you guys bring enough energy. You know, you both lack energy, so I'm not sure if it's going to be entertaining.
Could be really
enough for
dull.
everybody.
Could be real dull.
Real dull. Yeah,
Yeah.
real dull show
Yeah.
for people. So we'll
Wow.
see if that's right or not.
Very monotone, lacking excitement. Yeah, that's a
The good
concern.
news is we recorded the first episode, I'd say almost 2 months ago, and things are still going well. So
With the show.
Yeah. I like.
Oh.
I don't even know who put this in, but somebody said, some digression there. Go figure. It's not called bookkeeping, beer, and stay on task. I'll tell you that. Jared did chime in, Dave, for you and I, so we could feel like we matter. Said, I have heard the names Dan and Dave and how thankful she is, more than you would ever imagine.
That's
Angela
sweet.
is a thankful human.
Cory's like,
Okay.
Should show up more, Cory.
Cool. Yeah, neat. Yeah.
I've been busy. I've been busy. I'm sorry.
Let's talk a little bit about that because hey, wait, let's pause for some commercials.
Go, Angela.
Okay, Jairus. There we go. Jairus played some commercials just now, I bet. Oh no, Angela, are you gonna play some commercials?
yep, I got
Oh,
one.
here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Here we go. Jared did say Cory who, and he spelled your name wrong, kind of like how he spells JC wrong, because he spells JC Jared. So he spells his name wrong too. He spelled your name wrong as well.
Well, that's how my name was on my birth certificate when I was born, so he wasn't all wrong.
With an E?
Oh, yeah.
So you spell your name wrong then?
Nope, my name is Cory now, Cory. It's a funny story if you want to hear it. After your
Once
commercial.
Angela figures out how to play these commercials.
Yeah.
She's got that look on her face like she's really trying hard to do the thing, to make the thing happen.
I thought it was playing. It's not.
No, which is probably the same problem that I'm having.
Y'all are lost.
That's funny. Okay, let me try this one more thing. Let me try one more time.
Maybe it's
Okay.
a StreamYard thing. Nothing. Oh, I know why. Here, check this out. Here we go. Hey, don't worry about it. Now can you hear my music? No, you still can't hear it? Man. Hey, wait.
Okay.
It's like in the background sputtering a little bit and really low volume, if that helps.
But you can hear it.
Now I can, but it's like off and on, breaking up, kind of like Rob's hot wife.
Oh, weird. Oh, it is kind of glitchy. It was because I had the wrong microphone and headset. So I bet my voice sounds different now too.
No, that sounds the same.
I had the wrong audio.
And drop-in LED technology.
Oh, does it really?
These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding
Oh man,
environments.
now
A new division by
Yeah,
Cast
shut
is your
the
source
fuck
for professional grand landscape lighting, made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast lighting
It does.
gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with
Can you turn
tomorrow's
it off?
technology.
Or
Visit
is
their
it just-
website
is it
at
just on-
cast-lighting.com
is it just on now?
today.
We
That's
just have to listen to it.
cast-lighting.com.
I'm muting Angela. I muted her. That sounded like it was coming through a speaker.
I remember the first time that I tried to run one of these.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh well. Hey, we gave her a try. Next time I'll check my audio settings because it was literally just grabbing the wrong thing. Let me see. There we go. It's good enough. Still working. Still audio. We'll put some commercials in later. All right, Angela, did you turn yours off yet?
Made 60-volt
Oh no,
batteries.
she's still playing it. She's still playing it, so I still put her back on mute. All right. Well, Angela's sitting over there thinking we're all listening to the commercials that she's playing. Because now she can't hear me because she has that so loud. Angela, can you hear me? She can't.
Everybody point at her.
Where is she? She's over there. She's over there. It's Angela. She doesn't know because her music volume's too loud. It'll be fun when she comes back from this.
She's talking.
Yeah, she did say something. Now she's trying to stop the commercials.
Yeah, funny, Dan, and I gave her credit for knowing what was going on, and not you. And that's awesome.
I mean, in hindsight, the reason the commercials weren't working on my end is because I literally didn't select the option for the right audio. Here, let's see. Angela, are you back? Angela,
she can't hear us either. Apparently.
Are you back? Are you back, Ala?
Now's the time to say whatever you want to say about Angela.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
She can't hear us.
Cory, you've been I was gonna say obsolete, but not obsolete. You've been mysterious for a few weeks in a row here. Were you on the last trivia episode? Did you jump on that last trivia episode? Angela, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Angela.
We can't hear you.
You have no microphone. No volume.
We can't hear you.
So Cory, tell us there was a company called Kraus Anderson Insurance that was a place that you used to work, and I noticed that name is no longer in your signature thing. And Angela, we still can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now we got you now. We got you.
No.
I'm not trying to play the commercial. I messed everything up.
Yeah, I muted you the whole time that the commercials were playing, but you couldn't hear that I was telling you to stop playing them because it was like super, super loud and like echoey. And then to top it all off, I realized the reason you guys couldn't hear when I was playing them is because I had the wrong audio selected. It was that simple. So hey, welcome to live radio on. Yep. So Cory, tell us a little bit about what does this with the insurance world shakedown.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward and simple. Every decision and time that I've gone to a new agency in my career, which now has been 3 different times, I've been doing things that have been driving results. So at one, I built my own program. I left the first one because expansion wasn't where I wanted it to be. Then I built my own program. Then I was recruited to come into an already existing program. Money was a factor in some of it, right? My wife and I are pretty young and having kids and a family and so on and so forth. And I finally got to the point in my career where I needed to make a shift and a change for culture and happiness and pride and feeling good. And so what I did was I took a decent amount of time to vet what I wanted to do and where I wanted to do it at. And I ended up at WA Group out of Minneapolis. They're headquartered out of Winona, Minnesota. We have an office up here in Minneapolis. I still work remote.
What does WA stand for? What's the WA for? So
it's the Winona Agency down in Winona. So,
Winona Agency Group.
Yeah, it used to be the Winona Agency. It was rebranded. But getting back to the whole point of why I went there, they are a 100% owned ESOP, which was a big deal for me. I loved that idea. I always have loved the idea because I feel like people have a little bit more vested interest in how the agency is going to perform. There's not many of them around, and it was important for me to get involved. I also was looking for a new culture shift, one that really wanted to innovate and grow. I've talked about this on the show before, but at the end of the day, the insurance world and industry is relatively archaic. They're focused on process and policies. And if you're not an advisor and a true risk manager for businesses, you're not doing enough. And so I made the change. I am taking their already existing workers' compensation program called Vast Injury Management and expanding on it, and still going to be doing fee-based consulting as well as insurance placements. WA Group's been around since 1893, so they have a little history to them.
They're right up there with Grandma Pat. They're right up there with Grandma Pat.
Right up there with Grandma Pat. And they have a lot of great people around them. There's a relatively new CEO that came in to replace the retiring CEO about 2.5 years ago. And his vision and goals and just overall outlook on life is something that really caught my attention and made me excited about going to work for them and building some unique special things. So, that was the process and the decision behind the process. And now I'm moving forward and rocking and rolling. I'm on day 5 right now.
I was gonna say you're officially gainfully employed. I haven't seen an AOR from you yet, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, so I had like 75 hours of onboarding training to do. you know, and it's like weird stuff.
I'm
right?
just making
like
statements. I'm not saying you suck. I'm just saying
right.
I haven't. Maybe it got lost.
Nope,
you know,
nope. I got a few things I got to sort out on that end, but it'll be there soon, Dan.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I did a training the other day. It's kind of funny. It said word for word while I was doing the training, while sitting in your office, this was a sexual harassment training. It is inappropriate to slap the buttocks of someone in your office. That's how it was written. And I was like, man,
that was
I'm
written in
home.
1893. That was written when they first started in 1893.
Right. And in 1893, they didn't work at home with their wives. Like, I was like, I've violated this policy like 8 times in the last week. Right. She walks by me all the time. So I was feeling all uncomfortable and weird, but no, it's good. It's a lot of fun. I don't want to forget this. Corey was the name I was born with. People that know me are going to find this to be a shocking story, but I was in kindergarten in Wausau, Wisconsin. There was another kid, Corey. I didn't like sharing my name with someone, so I started spelling it Cory. Over and over and over again, wouldn't put the E in no matter what. Turns out I can be a bit stubborn. No idea why people think that, but it's true. So I, in 6th grade, my stepfather legally adopted my younger sister and I. I signed the document while I was in 6th grade. You know, hooray, I want to be adopted by this awesome guy. And the judge was like, you got to re-sign it. You spelled your name wrong. And my mom was like, don't even get us started. And she explained the story to the judge, and the judge like, well, do you just want to change his first name too? And she was like, oh, please, yes. And so they legally changed my first name because I refused to put an E in it. And so it's been Cory ever since.
I like it. I like it.
That's a great story, Corey. That is awesome. I wish I had a cool story like that.
Yeah. And that stubbornness is how I fight for my clients. You know, like to do something like business. You
need a billboard. Give up. You need a billboard. Yeah.
Right. I need a billboard.
You need to be an attorney.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. And the other fun thing about this job, I'll just throw in there because everybody that comes on this show or that we talk to is in different parts of business. The sales staff at the new agency I'm going to is actually kind of in a turnover mode where it's a lot of relatively new people to the industry, young people, ones that haven't really come out of, you know, what I would call that beaten and bruised sales stage yet. Mm-hmm. But I love teaching and I love working with younger people to help them get better at their craft and improve on what they're doing. There was a leadership role that was tied to my job that would allow me to get more involved with the younger people and help kind of shepherd them through the challenges that you face when you try to call business owners like Dave and he just hangs up on you because he's not interested, right?
Oh, Dave's totally gonna hang up on your ass.
Yeah. Any jerk owner like that, right? And so that's a really fun part of my job that I get to do here that I've never been able to do before other than a few one-off instances. And that excites me. It gives me another reason to wake up in the morning and get pumped up about what I do. So that's it in a nutshell, Dan.
How are you feeling? I mean, like, I share your sentiment about employee-owned company. I think that would be one of my goals of my businesses is to like have that as an exit. Like, what a cool way to exit a business to be able to like sell it to all the employees. What have you noticed like a cultural difference? I mean, obviously you must have if you chose to go work there. Like you said, that was kind of the value you saw in it. What are the tangible things or maybe the intangible things that you can look at where you're just like, yeah, this is clearly a place you want to be, and it's probably indirect or maybe direct result from just being the ESOP style business.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. And by the way, I actually ended up sitting down and talking to 5 different agencies, and I got 5 job offers in the first meeting. And I say that because I want you guys all to think how cool I am. But the reality is,
he's so cool. Oh my God, he's so cool.
But the insurance industry really needs people that bad. I mean, I'm not kidding. I could have probably, gone to the meetings and said boop, boop, beep, bop, bop, and I would have gotten a job offer because it's a struggling industry right now. And they're lacking in professionals. So if you have young children or children going into college, it can be a very profitable career for a lot of people. And I'm dead serious about that because insurance isn't going anywhere. That being said, there is buy-in. There really is. There's an entire cultural difference from what I see. It's a 6-year vesting schedule, and you've got a lot of interesting things that kind of play a part. But it essentially acts as a second retirement plan on top of your already owned 401k that's already being matched. And the amount of money, if you can really drive business that you're able to earn through that equitable portion of the ESOP is pretty insane. And so it's exciting and unique. And being on the front lines, the sales side, being driven with bringing revenue dollars in and supporting our clients, it kind of gives you an extra sense of purpose too, because, you know, a lot of times if you're working at a business, that profit is going somewhere else. Now, every person you talk to every day is kind of depending on your success as to how, you know, profitable it can be for them and their families. So I think everyone feels that, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Now, in the past, you've always been very like workers' comp focused, but at the end at KA, weren't you like writing some general liability stuff too? Are you doing at WA? Are you doing all of the insurance stuff? Are you focused just on workers' comp, or like how does that mix look like for you?
That was a beautiful part about coming into WA Group. I explained to them what I wanted to do. I'm a work comp guy. I can write general liability. I can write the other lines. But at the end of the day, not only do I not really want to personally be responsible from that from start to finish, because I don't necessarily have the time with everything else I'm doing, but there are people that know it better than me. And so I looked for an agency that really believed in siloing their expertise between departments. The way they're set up there allows me to personally build relationships with business owners, write all lines of insurance. I'm their point contact, but there are tons of support staff that surround me that are doing a lot of the backroom work to make sure that our customers have everything they need, no gaps in their policies, so on and so forth. So I'm able to do it all while focusing on work comp and know that it's going to get done for the clients. So that was to be honest, that was probably one of the bigger factors in going into the agency.
Booyah.
Booyah. Booyah.
All right. Well, I'm on the lookout for a couple 2-tree AORs headed my way, you know, sign those babies up. Trying to think of what else I got. I think that's all I got for you folks. I think that's all. I do actually have to run too. I got a hard stop. I have a nerdy bookkeeping meeting to do accounting stuff. Super fun.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. I got some fun stuff. But thanks for joining. I'd play some music, but I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it anyway. Do you hear that? Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Yeah. Angela's dancing. Crank that shit up.
Good seeing you guys today.
We're too loud.
Good seeing you too, Dave.
Coming on, Dave. Thanks for hanging out. Angela, Dave, Cory, thank you guys so much. Business nerds. I know this is just too loud. This is too loud. You can't hear what I'm saying. Business nerds, thank you guys for tuning in. You know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. My guest for tonight bailed out. I got to reschedule with him. Maybe I'll see if Jared Chinowski wants to come on. Maybe I'll see if Jared wants to come on.
Oh, yeah, he might be in an airport.
Maybe. All right. We'll see. We might do a show tonight. We'll see if I can find somebody to drink beer and BS with. Until then, we'll see you next time.
See you guys.